In this video, we have got a 120 plus kill game on our Marj Conquest with the Lewis gun, so the 97 round massive beast from the support class. Stick around in this video. In just a moment's time, I'm going to flash up the specializations on screen. We'll talk about why there's two different ways to actually use this gun, not one overall best way, and therefore how to use each one and what maps, what different scenarios you want to be doing that on. So let's have a look at the specializations now, and then we'll get into the game afterwards. So as the specializations flash up on screen, you can see I go right and 3 left, starting with high velocity bullets, slings and swivels, extended mags, and recoil buffer. So firstly, considering the first specialization choice, on the left you have quick aim, which increases your aim by 33%, or on the right you've got an increased bullet velocity, of course, by 10%. Now I have gone on the right with an increased bullet velocity, choosing to ignore quick aim because the Lewis gun, it's not a super fast fire rate gun that you can basically run around, run and gun into loads of gunfights, go on good streaks like you can with most medic weapons or more aggressive support weapons such as the FG42. And therefore, even if you have quick aim and can aim in 33% faster, it's not going to make it really that much better of a gun that you're going to want to run around and run and gun with in an aggressive playstyle. It is a support weapon that you want to be using at medium range, and therefore having an increased bullet velocity is only going to allow you to be better with it at that medium range, which is built or meant for the gun, and at longer ranges as well. The bullets are going to hit the target faster with an increased bullet velocity, and this is going to increase your time to kill, as also would aiming in faster. But in terms of the overall performance of the gun in the way it's meant to be used, an increased bullet velocity is going to have a much bigger impact over the course of the game. Moving on to the second and third specialization options, of course, as I showed, I go with the two on the left. The first one being slings and swivels, which is going to allow you to change to your sidearm 15% faster, or rather just switch weapons, so changing to your secondary or your primary 15% faster, as well as shooting sooner after sprinting. So a pretty useless specialization in terms of what I've explained with not needing to use quick aim, because it's not an aggressive gun which you want to run around and run and gun with. However, choosing that left side of the specialization tree, the third spec, of course, is the extended mags, which basically doubles the magazine size up to 97. And this therefore makes the Lewis gun the gun in Battlefield 5 with the largest magazine capacity that you can actually run around, run and gun with, and aim down your sights. Only the MMGs are going to have higher ammo capacities, but of course you have to be using the bipod and basically be stationary or prone to actually use that and aim down the sight. Now, before coming back to the second and third specialization options, I'm going to talk about the fourth and final specialization option, because that right side of the tree needs a bit more of an in-depth analysis, because it is a completely different way to play with and use the gun. So looking at the fourth and final specialization option, on the right side you've got an improved bipod, which just reduces the ADS spread. Nothing massive, you've already got a bipod on the gun, it already works very good. I don't think that right specialization to improve the bipod is needed. Whereas on the left you've got a specialization which increases the accuracy, which is very much needed, especially if you're going on the left route with the extended mags, because by going on the left you're passing up two other accuracy specs that are on the right side for the second and third specialization options. Okay, so let's talk about the two different ways you can use this gun on the left side or the right side, starting with the right side. So the right side is going to be basically going for all accuracy and avoiding the possibility of using the extended magazine. Of course, therefore now having a magazine half the size of the 97 rounds you would get if you went on the left side. The key difference here is that you're going to be reloading a lot more often, which is going to increase the chances of you getting caught out and dying, and places a stronger emphasis on you needing to be strong and doing good with a secondary, because you're more likely going to need it versus when you've got the 97 rounds of the extended mag. Now, the important thing to consider here is the accuracy of the left versus the right side. And most people completely disregard the right side because the idea of having a 97 round magazine with a high kill potential is just sounds too good to be true, and therefore they completely ignore that right side. But I can tell you from my experience, having used both sides of the spec tree for many hours, the right side is way better with its accuracy, which it should be, because you get 3 different spec options which boost the accuracy of the gun. But as a result, because of the much improved accuracy on the right side, the actual kill potential of the right side with half the mag size of the extended mag version is pretty much almost the same, if not equal, to the extended mag option, which has 97 rounds. Because when you're using those 97 rounds with a much lower accuracy, you're actually wasting or shooting an extra 5+ bullets at every enemy you're shooting at, just to get the kill. So overall, what does this mean in terms of the left and the right, and when should you use the right side of the specialization tree? Now, this right side, of course, gives you that massive boost in accuracy, and as a result, you want to be using the right side whenever you're playing the bigger maps, such as Rotterdam, or even other maps like Narvik, etc. The left side is for more close to medium range, aggressive play, although you don't want to play too aggressive with it. But the left side with the extended mags is for maps where you're going to see a lot higher density of enemies in small areas, where you're going to be going into many more gunfights in quick succession, which is going to be your Marj, which is going to be your Underground, which is going to be your Devastation, or maybe even Breakthrough as a game mode. So therefore, using the right side on those larger maps is going to be better overall, with more consistent gameplay and more consistency in terms of getting high kill games when using the right side, even though it's got a smaller mag size, because you'll stay alive longer, having better accuracy at those longer range targets on those bigger maps where enemies are at longer distances. And you haven't got to worry so much about the downside of reloading more often, because gunfights are more spread out, enemies are more spread out, and so you have more time to reload. Therefore, 97 rounds is not as big a benefit on those larger maps as it is the smaller maps. Now, the final thing to talk about is, of course, going to be going on the left side of the specialization tree with the extended mags, and there is something very important to consider with this, because in effect, you could ignore the right side knowing this and practicing this. However, of course, it's pretty much a fact. I mean, it's logical, it doesn't need to be said, but accuracy is a skill, or recoil control rather, is a skill that can be practiced and improved on any gun. So yes, going on the left side of the spec tree, you're going to be going generally with a lower average accuracy percentage when you're playing with it. However, consistency and putting in the time of using the gun, you're going to get better at, managing the gun, using the gun, and controlling the recoil. You might not be able to maintain as high an average of accuracy versus going on the right side of the spec tree, but consistency of using it will get you close to the accuracy levels of the right side of the spec tree, whereby the 47 rounds or whatever it is in the gun with half the mag size can never be improved or increased, but the accuracy and controlling that recoil can be improved. So there's a trade-off there. Go for the right side when you're on those larger maps. I'll even do that regardless of me being able to control recoil or not. However, if you do want to stick to the left side, you can massively improve your kill potential per magazine versus the right side of the spec tree, simply through practice and, of course, being able to better manage and control that recoil. You do that, you'll be able to get literally 10 kills per magazine just by being accurate and getting a kill with every few bullets. I mean, you've got 97 bullets, so that's almost enough to fire 10 bullets at someone, and you only need 3 or 4 bullets to get a kill. So overall, in this video, we've covered the specialization tree for the Lewis gun in depth, pretty much with the importance of looking at the left side versus the right side. I haven't covered the pros and cons of the gun in this video like I normally do. That is because of how much importance there is, of talking about the left versus the right side, which I wouldn't have done in previous 100 bomb games or previous 100 bomb videos with the Lewis gun. but those videos are there if you do want to go and watch those and check out, the gun in more detail, such as the pros and cons. If you do want to watch those, I'll put a link in the pinned comment below the video to the playlist for all 100 bomb videos I've ever done on Battlefield 5, but this is pretty much coming to the final minute of the video now, so smash a like for me if you've watched this far, and I'll see you on the next video.